Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about using the Galaxy Tab S7 as a laptop. Now, even though I'm going to be showing you the S7 in this video, everything I talk about is going to apply to the S7 Plus as well as the S7. So let's get started. Now, this is a very broad topic because a lot of people do a lot of different things with their laptops. So I'm going to focus on a few different areas and let you make the decision on whether this device will work for you in those areas. The first thing I want to talk about is just general usage, and I'm talking about browsing the web, email, social media, that kind of stuff. This device is fantastic for those general use cases. Just in tablet mode alone, you can do all that stuff. And, you know, these apps were designed for Android devices, both phones and tablets, so they work great. But if you want a more desktop-like experience, if you have the keyboard case, you can also go into DeX mode that makes it a much more laptop-like experience. You have a very familiar desktop. Those of you who have ever used Windows, you'll be right at home with this desktop. You have a kind of an app launcher, a start menu, whatever you want to call it, in the bottom left-hand corner, a bunch of notifications and your settings over on the right-hand corner, and a taskbar at the bottom. You can launch applications in Windows and change the size, move them around, make them go full screen. There's some apps that don't go full screen, but if you go into the DeX Lab setting and turn on to force full screen, even apps that aren't designed to work in full screen in DeX, you can still get them in there. So if you want that true desktop experience using all these apps, you can use DeX mode, but even without DeX mode, it's a very solid experience for this general use case. As far as portability, this thing completely blows any laptop away. It's super, super light, very compact. You can throw it into any bag or just tuck it under your arm. Just carrying it around is almost like carrying nothing around. Now, one thing a lot of people use their laptop for is for business productivity related tasks. I'm talking about email, office work, even remote connections to computers. For office type work, you can get the Android versions of the Microsoft Office suite, but you can also get something that's compatible with LibreOffice if you use that. That's personally what I use. And there's a great application called CollaboraOffice that is, it's basically the Android version of LibreOffice, and all the files are compatible and everything. That works very, very well. And for those remote connections, there's a bunch of options there as well. You can download something like the RDP client and connect out to remote Windows computers and servers. You can download VNC. That's more used for something like Linux, but you know, you can run a VNC server on any computer. And there's also even a Citrix client for Android. So if your company supports it like mine does, you can download the Citrix client, connect up to your company, load up a virtual machine, and do all your work from this tablet. And at that point, it's really no different than using it on the laptop. So for things in this category, it works extremely, extremely well. And the clients that are available for Android that facilitate this stuff are extremely solid and run great on this, both in the tablet mode and in DeX mode. Another thing you might do with your laptop is connect up to network shares, whether it be a NAS at your house or a network share at work. And with the S7 and the S7 Plus, you can do that very, very easily. With the file manager that comes with it, you can connect to some network shares. There's a network share option in that app that you click on that, create your new connection, and then you can access it and copy files back and forth. You can open files directly on network attached storage. So connectivity options to remote servers, remote shares, things like that is fantastic. The next area I want to talk about is media creation, and let's start with drawing and photo editing. There are tons of apps in both of those categories, from, you know, the most basic all the way up to professional apps. And for something like drawing, pairing it with the S Pen, you can make some stunning artwork. I've seen some amazing things come off of this tablet. Not for me, because I am not an artist, so I couldn't create anything like this, but this tablet is extremely capable and runs those applications great. So sticking with the media creation, but moving into the audio area now, there are a ton of apps for audio editing and recording and sequencing and sampling. There are just a ton of different apps out there. There's some great DAWs, digital audio workstations, that are available on Android. They all, again, run great both in tablet mode and DeX mode. And the great thing is this tablet has a USB-C port, so a lot of peripherals that you would use, you can plug right into that USB-C port and they'll get recognized by Android. You can use external mics. You can use recording decks. You can even use an adapter. If you play guitar, you can plug that in and play guitar directly into some of these apps. It works fantastically well, and having that USB-C port just expands that capability so much. So the last area I want to talk about in media creation is video editing. And while the S7 and the S7 Plus are extremely capable from a hardware perspective, there's not a lot of great options for Android. There are editors out there. Probably the best you're going to find are KineMaster or KineMaster, however you pronounce it, Power Director, and then two other ones I found that I like are VLLO and VN Video Editor. Those work well, and you can produce videos. You can produce videos for, your YouTube channel or personal use or whatever you want to do. But if you're looking for something that comes close to a desktop grade or even something that comes close to LumaFusion on iOS, you're not going to find it on Android at this point. Now, the good news is that LumaFusion is being developed for Android and Chrome OS. It's currently in closed beta as of the time of this video. I'm super looking forward to that because that is going to be a game changer for me. This is the one area that would keep me using one of these devices as, my primary mobile device, just because I can't find a video editor that I like. But if LumaFusion were to come to Android, that would be a game changer in my book. So another thing a lot of people like to do on their laptops is play games, and the S7 and S7 Plus shine in this area. There's a ton of games in the Play Store. They all run great on both of these tablets. You can pair up external controllers like an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. That works great in both tablet and DeX mode. You can hook it to an external display or a TV if you want to play it on a big screen. There are so many games and they all run fantastically. Now, if you want to play something that's more desktop class games, there's some options for that because there are tons of streaming apps available for Android. And again, they all work great on this tablet. Everything from like GeForce Now and Stadia and Xbox Game Pass, they all work great if you want to stream from the cloud. Another option is for local game streaming. So if you have a powerful gaming computer on your network and you want to play things on your tablet, like on the other side of the house or something, you can do that with a couple of different apps. There's one called Moonlight. If you have an NVIDIA card in your gaming PC, you can use the NVIDIA Game Stream to stream games wirelessly from your gaming computer over to the S7, and that works well. You can use, controllers, and there's very low latency depending on the network in your house. There's also another option, and that's Steam Play. So that works for AMD or NVIDIA cards and lets you stream your whole Steam library from your desktop to the tablet. Both of those work great, again, as long as you have a solid network connection in your house, solid Wi-Fi. But I've been super happy with both of those options, just giving me the option to play these games elsewhere in the house without having to be tied to my gaming computer. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the use case of laptops, and people don't only use them on their lap or in a coffee shop or taking notes in class. Sometimes you also bring them home, put them on a desk, hook them to an external monitor and a mouse and keyboard, maybe an external storage, and use it like a desktop computer. So is that an option for these? And it's a resounding yes. All you need is a USB Type-C hub of some kind. I got this little one for about $40 off of Amazon. It has HDMI out, a USB Type-A port. It's got SD card readers, a headphone jack. It has a pass-through for charging. I just plugged that into the USB-C port on my laptop, hook the USB hub that has my mouse and keyboard hooked up to it into the adapter, and then plug the HDMI cable into the adapter, and then I just go into the quick settings, switch it into DeX mode, and now I have this full desktop experience that drives my ultra-wide monitor, and I can do all kinds of productivity tasks in there. So all in all, using the Galaxy Tab S7 as a laptop was a far better experience than I thought it would be. I had much less trouble using this as a primary device than I thought I would before I started doing this testing. I've actually been really impressed with how well this works in a lot of areas. And because of that, I think a lot of people that are out there would be able to use this as their primary mobile device. And some people, not only their primary mobile device, but their primary device, period. Because you could take that same tablet that you've been using on the road, bring it home, hook it up to an external display, an external keyboard and mouse, put it in DeX mode, and now you have a desktop-like experience, and depending on your use case, it may be powerful enough, the Android apps may be good enough that you can get all your work done and not have to buy an expensive computer. So who this wouldn't be good for is people like developers or people that need, heavier media creation like myself. I wasn't able to find a video editor that did everything that I wanted to do and did it efficiently. So this wouldn't be an option for me. But for other people that have a lighter workload, you could definitely use the Galaxy Tab S7 as your laptop. Now, hopefully you found this useful or informative. If you have any questions or comments on anything that I talked about, make sure you leave that down in the comments section below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you really liked it, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.